we're in Baltimore. We have this beautiful studio space. Like we can live stage it on Instagram for it to look amazing, but how we don't have that much traffic coming in there to like really survive. So we really got to just like work double, triple to like really get people in that space or to get it, quote unquote, popping enough on Instagram so people are like hitting that e-commerce hard.
Word.
So I think one of the scariest parts really is like getting what I want. Yeah. Like literally like watching it happen, like, and just figuring out like, okay, you're getting what you want. So how do you maintain that?
Word.
Yeah. I appreciate that honesty, man.
Like, how do you maintain that shit? And that's scary, bro. Like, that's scary. When I'm in the studio, like, shit be surreal. Like yesterday, when we did our pop up, and like I'm watching people walk around and like look at art, and like she's taking payment, and the photographer's like people coming up to him like, "Oh, I love your work," and I'm sitting on a bench that we just finished, and like I'm just like, what the fuck? Like this is real. Like this is a real thing, and that it gets scary because like fuck, like I gotta figure this out.
Yeah.
You know, like
this needs to continue.
And then people start to treat you like you not a human for real.
Yeah, because you have a freedom that a lot of people don't have. That's accessible, but it doesn't feel accessible. That's the hard part about it, man. Like you're accessing something that a lot of people cannot access.
Yeah.
And that's tough. That's tough. That gets tough too, bro, because it's like you want to help people, right? And like people will ask me all these questions and like they try to get all these suggestions, and it's like, yo, I don't really know because I didn't predetermine none of this.
Yeah.
I just did what I kind of wanted to do, you know, like,
and it worked.
Yeah, and I can't like tell people.
And then it's also not gonna work for them.
Yeah, it's not, you know, and it sucks, for me because I'm, you know how you turn into that bitter guy sometimes, like, absolutely. You know, like remember, I don't know, y'all remember Eugene?
No.
You don't remember Eugene? You remember Eugene, right? He worked for Gente, the black guy. He was the only black guy. Yeah. He rode the bikes.
Yeah.
I vaguely. So I remember. I'm picturing the
glasses.
Yeah, he was cool as shit, but he was like a bitter guy. No, he worked with Gente, and like he was the guy, like the black guy that we knew in the fashion and like the cool ass guy.
I think I remember.
And he used to be like very like bitter to us, like y'all don't know. You feel me? Like, but I used to hate him, but now I like understand him to the point where as though it's like because I would go to him for advice sometimes, maybe, and like he would just rub me off, and I would be pissed. But now I appreciate that. Yeah, I really appreciate that because like I understand that. Like I understand why, because you know, like yo, you got to figure it out. Yeah, and it's hard for me to like tell people like yo, you gotta figure it out because I don't. Especially at this point, like nothing I'm doing now is like because of me. It's because of all the people I'm working with. It's because of the platform we have. Right. It's because of people like y'all that's reaching out. This all helps me. So I ain't doing shit. Yeah. But showing up now. And that's scary too.
You're undermining it though.
Yeah. Well, am I?
It's 10 years of work.
Yeah, but at this point, that 10 years of work, I can't talk about that 10 years of work to everybody.
I
get it.
Right?
Yeah, I am, but all that to me, it's like that's just I do that in my sleep.
I mean, I guess you could walk around giving people your credentials. You could be like, 10 years in the game, design this thing. You could do. Some people do it.
To that point, though, like I have a problem doing that too. Like finding the right place to have that conversation with people to talk about your resume and explain like why you belong in these spaces and like all the dope shit that you've done all the way up to this point. But you also don't want to come off like an asshole to say like, hey, I did, you know, X, Y, and Z. Like I work with this brand. Like somebody carries my stuff here.
You got to be able to access it though, because nobody else is going to do it for you. You know, at some point. So I'd say this is my advice to anybody that's going through that sort of thing. Don't volunteer, but if somebody asks, tell them. There's no reason for you not to, because you represent something very different than a lot of people. Some people look at creativity as just a thing to make money. And it's not just that for you. So, like, it's your responsibility when it's asked of you to kind of lay it all out. So imagine a black kid that's in the city that sees this as just a profit thing. And then when they come to you and you explain, like, the fabrics, the print is important to me, the position of the text, how this all feels to me is very important. And then he'll be like, oh, when you get that Gucci belt, you're like, oh, this feels this way, but for a reason. There's a reason why it comes in a box that it comes in. There's a reason why you have a lifetime warranty on some of this stuff. That's the stuff that they don't know about. That's the stuff that it's your responsibility on some level when it's asked of you.
Yeah.
To deliver. I'm not saying go around like with a bottle of champagne. But that's my advice to you, man. Because I go through it sometimes. Like, somebody will talk to me about streetwear and stuff like that, and I sit in a different sort of space in terms of where I feel about streetwear. It can be whatever it wants to be to some people, right? So I'll talk to somebody about, like, I had an issue with the Baltimore Sun based on one of my designs. That was the greatest thing that could have ever happened to me. I made a design.
That was dope too.
And my friend was like, yo, the Baltimore Sun's gonna come after you.
Yeah.
And I was like, that's the greatest thing that could ever happen. Once a kid sees my shit and tells the Sun, that's when I know that it's circulating enough. Yeah. And that's what happened. Once I figured out the payment for that, it happened. I paid them. That was it. But people live in fear, man.
Wait, you actually had to pay them?
Yeah.
That shirt sold well too.
It still does. I reprinted it. And put it in what's the face?
For rent.
Yes, for rent. Yeah, nice. Yes. And I used a better material.
Okay.
And it sold really well there too. And I still got a couple. I'm gonna.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's also a finesse to that though. But
pay them.
Listen,
I was gonna say we should probably talk about that off air because
we can. No, it's
all right,
I have no problem if you want to know.
Definitely curious.
So, somebody's daughter of a Sun employee was walking past FedEx. You were probably working one day, and she was like, "What is that?"
Yeah.
Took a picture of it, and they hit me up and asked and said basically like, you know, this is unlawful use of the logo. We're gonna have to consult our legal team and get back to you about the usage of it, bruh. I was scared. I was scared because I didn't have any money. Yeah. I just had to. So to me, the profit from the T-shirts was going to go back into making more T-shirts. So I'd made a good amount of money, but they got back to me and were like, "Look, you got to pay for these. You know, you sold. How many do you have? How many have you sold?" So I was like,
10.
I was honest. I was like, I sold 200 shirts, and they were like, "All right, so we'll get back to you with a figure." They came back and it was like 50 cents a shirt.
Okay. That's not bad.
Look.
Wait, but did you continue that relationship?
No.
Oh, you should have. You should have like put this on
the
paper.
Management changed. Management changed. And it got a little harder. I tried to reach back out to them and they're like, that's not a thing. The usage of the Sun logo doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, it got weird, bro. So I'm walking around like a rebel right now, selling a T-shirt.
Straight thugging it.
I'd be like, I give you $1 a shirt.
That shirt sold like, y'all put that in the window of FedEx. Mm-hmm. It just sold like crazy. Like people were buying it at a rate that it shocked me.
Word.
The way that people were buying that shirt. I put it out and the same thing happened. Every once in a while, somebody will send me a picture of somebody with the old joint on, the old raggedy joint. Yeah. So look. I owe FedEx the world. I owe, you were super nice to me, and I appreciated it.
Of course.
It was. There were times when I wanted to talk to you about the brand, and I didn't have a thing that I could like. It felt weird coming up to you and be like, "What's happening right now?"
Yeah.
But seeing your evolution has been really a treat, man.
Yeah,
it's been a treat, and I we had that conversation last summer. We talked for like 2 hours.
Yeah,
and I can be, if I could be super transparent, I had feelings. I have feelings about it because I didn't get to talk to you about it.
Yeah.
And I wanted to know, I really wanted to know, how you got from that space to where you were now. And it's kind of my fault.
Yeah.
Because, I would see you out and I'd be like, yo, what's up? And then we keep it moving. But I really was curious about
But that's
your progression.
That's a two-way street though, man. Because like our situation was like, at that age we were being too cool.
It's a lot of that. It's a lot of ego.
Yeah, we were being too cool.
It's a lot
so
of
it's
ego.
like I regret a lot of that shit too, because I know there's so many people I could have helped mentally at that point in my life.
Yeah.
But we were just like, what?
Still trying to figure it out and do our own thing.
Like we were just mobbing. Like,
Yeah.
like bro.
You get a couple.
And it made people not want to talk to us.
Word.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because you
Do you regret
seemed
that?
so cool.
Yeah.
Because I knew you, so like I was just like, this is a cool dude, like, but I could see how somebody could see that and be like, oh my God, this dude won't talk to me.
Yeah, no, but that's why I regret it, because a lot of people, and I was just having this conversation with them yesterday. It's like, I hate when people treating me like they don't know me.
Mm.
In the sense of like, yo, don't be treating me like I'm not reachable.
Yeah.
Like don't treat me like I think I'm just making cool shit.
That comes
Like
some insecurity comes with that. Bro.
Yeah,
like
bro,
you
like,
see a thing, and people attach something to it that has nothing to do with you. So that's not your responsibility necessarily.
Word.
Yeah.
Because like all you're doing is creating. You didn't say in your campaign for currency, and he broke me. You're not saying none of that. All of you saying is this is quality goods. Come get it, right? People attach something to it that has nothing to do with you.
Bingo.
All their insecurities about a thing, all their feelings about a thing, their lack of an ability to make something tangible.
You question it like, well, what makes you so dope that you can charge this price point? And you still living in Baltimore. You making stuff out of Baltimore. So what makes your stuff special that I got to pay LV prices to get what you get? So it's that perspective.
I'm going through something currently where like I'm selling. So my idea is like I want to sell people quality goods at a reasonable price, right? And I'm fighting for the price point. Like, so I could charge $90 for a sweatshirt that I'm charging $65 for, and motherfuckers are like, "Yo, can I get half off of that?"
Which is nuts.
This is embroidery, high quality embroidery.
I'm trying to get them to go.
Yeah. We have these conversations constantly because he'll touch something. He's like, yo, this feels like it should be 120.
Yeah.
And I'm charging 70 for a thing that should be. But I feel like that could be two things that exist, right? Like you have a thing where you could charge your price point, create an experience. And I feel like on the other spectrum, there's also a space where there could be the synergy of quality and a decent price point where I'm not killing myself. And both of those can exist. You can buy from both of these places and have an incredible experience.
You can.
Yeah. And that's the problem. Like you people don't believe that. They believe that they have to. So here's the thing. They believe that they have to go to a person that they'll never interact with, spend that kind of money and not come to your studio because they know. They're like, oh, I know he walking around.
But it's also based off like association too, right? Like not association, but status. Because I might, proximity. And I think about this all the time. Like I might like a clothing brand coming out of the city. Mm-hmm. I might if I'm searching. I'm not a consumer, right?
Yeah.
But of course, when I'm thinking about okay, outside of currency, if I want to buy a new shirt, 9 times out of 10, I'm gonna buy a Human Made shirt.
Word. Oh, Human Made is so dope.
Yeah. But it's because like Nigo's like God to me.
Word.
Because of what he created.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So I understand why there is a skip over currency for my culture. But my thing is like, bro, like my real consumer is like if y'all have children.
Word.
Like I'm not expecting to have all the people that I talk to and see every day. I expect to have the people that's like they're like the new generations of like.
Yeah.
I hate to like Human Made, it didn't really hit me until I went to Shinjuku. And I was like walking around and I like touched Human Made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that shit's
All right. I get this now.
It's different.
Oh, okay.
That shit is, he's unfair. Like,
Yeah.
he got shit on.
A monster.
It's,
He's a beast.
So I understand. Like, I don't take it personal. You know, I don't take it personal of like it not being like a big local thing or like people wearing this and not
Starting to like
currency. Like, yeah, like, I get it. I get it.
Mhm.
Like, I definitely get it.
Word.
You feel me? Like, 100%.
Something I was thinking about as far as building the brand, like, do you see products or do you have like celebrities that you know have wear your product or anything like that? Is that something that you care about?
I don't seed, but they have a little seed program that they work on and they send people stuff. Her, and our content creator.
Why you gotta call it little?
Yeah, like I don't really.
No, I get
it. It ain't my thing until. It ain't my thing, so they gotta like.
You divorced yourself of
that's
that
not
part
my
of
thing.
it.
That's one of the things that you don't touch. Got you.
It's because I don't see I don't see the value in it.
Word.
Like
There's a value to it, though.
No, there is, but I've also been jaded to the point where though I've had like celebrities have wore currency, Future wore currency.
Word.
On stage, he performed in currency. Like I didn't
That's
wake
big
up
dope.
wake up the $1 million.
Right.
People see that and they think like, yo, he good.
Yeah, he's doing it now.
And he paid for his shit.
Oh.
So when you get somebody like Future pay for your shit and somebody want to send something to so and so, I'm like, what?
Why?
That don't make sense to me. But I get it, you know.
But that's the whole thing with like celebrities. Like that's why they can go places and eat for free because it's not the value that they give personally. It's the value that they bring with the people that see them.
Bingo.
So if Future's wearing currency on stage, everybody wants to know where that brand comes from because they want to feel like they can wear the same thing that Future has.
Internet's a slow burn about that stuff too. Like that picture could sit on the internet for like 5 years, and then somebody would be like, "Oh, he had this on? Oh my god!" And then that becomes a picture on Future fan page on Instagram, and that it's just
one of the Givenchy shirts that Kanye wore maybe like 6 years ago. Last year, people started wearing it again. So it's things like that that random. I don't know if it was that one. That one was hard. I feel like it was another piece though. But things like that circulate.
It's weird to me. It is because I think it's also because I'm not trying to like get to the people that the celebrity like watching the celebrities like
that's not what you built the brand for.
Yeah, but my thing is like me knowing who I want my consumer to be. It's like us having to shape the brand in the proper way.
Yeah.
You know, like the way the brand is going. Yes, it looks like we need to be seeding this rapper or this player for the culture to buy it.
Yeah.
But it's more so like what doors it needs to be in or where we need to have a store or like to, you know.
It seems like they're doing this work and there's no formula to that. So they're just being smart about it and giving it to some people. And then you can wake up one day and 50 celebrities like, yo, I need.
That's how it worked out for Pierre Moss.
Yeah.
Like his jacket like got passed around and Rihanna just ended up wearing it. And then when everybody saw that, he didn't even have a name for the brand yet. So he had to basically like over 24, 40 hours put all these things together and say this is the brand because people were calling it like some other brands and his friends were correcting people saying, no, this is my friend Kirby Jean that was, you know, doing all these pieces. So this is his work. So trying to get the attention pointed to him. So he didn't have any money at that point either. So it was kind of like an overnight thing. It just happened. It's not like something that you can plan out.
But you're preparing. That's you know.
But it sucks because it's tough for me because like my thing is like, unfortunately, it's like okay, like I want like the tastemakers in the brand, you know, the people who are actually building stuff. Like like I'm really trying to like touch those people. Like I'm not really that interested in like Pusha T wearing it, but I want Stephen Victor wearing it.
Yeah,
got you.
You know what I mean?
That makes
like
sense.
I'm not. It's like so like I think a little differently. Like it's usually the people behind the people who are the cool people. You know, and those are the people that I want to
work
get to.
That makes sense.
So but that's me figuring that out.
Yeah.
You know.
I mean, you want to make God laugh, tell him plans. He or she.
That's true.
Tell he or she, whatever. tell the powers that be your plans. But there's something to the preparedness that you're doing, man. Like I think there's, you prepare yourself. So, I do stand up so I'm a utility person, right? Creativity it doesn't matter what form it comes in. And sometimes I do stand up. Well, I do it a lot. And what I've realized is you do it enough, you take a month off, but somebody will call you and you're prepared because you've done it so much to show up.
I live by that.
And it seems like you're preparing.
I live by that.
Yeah, because you don't know when it's going to come, but you know that something's coming.
But people around you don't see preparation mentally as work.
Not at all.
They just want to see you doing something physically.
No, they want to see you like, oh, I'm doing this thing right now. They want to. It's so
You're not
weird.
doing
Man.
no work if
Yeah, and that's the whole thing. There's a book called Art and Fear, and they talk about you being an artist, and people don't care about the process; they care about the end result.
Bingo.
So, like when you go to a museum, you see that finished painting, you care about how that painting looks, but you don't care about the hours that they put in, the time for them mixing the perfect color that they want on that canvas. People, I guess, want to see that process sometimes. Some people do. But it's always about that end goal, something that resonates with them more about seeing the finished product and not the process.
Yeah, it's tough. Like, but I'm big on that. So I'm glad you mentioned that. 'Cause I'm big on preparation. Like, big. Like, I want to be ready for any situation, but more so like mentally.
Yeah. And sustainable too, right? You want to be prepared and sustainable.
Yeah.
And it seems like you have a good team, and you have a significant other that cares about what you're doing.
Yeah.
There's something to that, man. Like there's something to keeping people around you that care and understand on some level what the vision is. And whether you can agree on it, or disagree on it, the scale slides a little bit. But if they have a general idea what you want to do, the team around you, that's what matters.
Oh my God, 100%.
Oh my God.
I literally would not be sitting here without this dude right here. I'm not even gonna lie to you.
It matters a lot, and that's why. I mean, she said I'm undermining myself, but that's why I be feeling like I don't like. I'm starting to like have a crisis, but I'm starting. I be starting to figure out like, okay, what do I do?
What am I really doing right now?
What do I do?
I think as a person in the world, I've heard Royce 5'9" talk about this a little bit. Royce the 5'9", like every person has like an existential crisis, a couple where you're like, who am I? What am I doing? And if you're creating, especially, you go through it more because your identity changes. Like you don't think about things the same way you did 10 years ago. You don't think sometimes 3 months ago. So you go through these things where like, it's catastrophic. It almost feels like a explosion happens in your life. I don't feel the same way about things as I used to. So how does that translate to my art?
Yeah.
That's tough. But that's tough working with people too, because like I got a friend George that I work with now, and like I've been doing currency for so long, so it's all a casualty to me. In the sense of like if something is super cool, like it's just okay, it's casual.
Yeah.
Or if I don't really have the same excitement, so it comes off. It's like it comes off as me being like non-appreciative sometimes, or like, but it kind of like brings me back to that excitement of like having fun doing the setups and having fun, like just being excited for the things we were doing. Because in my mind, it's just like, oh, this is what we have to do.
Yeah.
Well,
like, think about it like this. So kids have this fork in the road when they're little, where their imagination can be crushed, bro. And like So say if you think of a friend or somebody that's a collaborator as a little kid. I'm not trying to diminish who they are maturity wise. I mean like the eagerness to create, right?
Yeah.
So they come up to you, they like, Pop, I think that I could go on the train and I could fly off that train and go to another planet. They look up at you. You got a split second to tell them yes, or that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard in my life, right? You got to be careful about that.
You got to find that.
You got to find it, because I go through that too. Like, people see what I'm doing and they're like, yo, I want to get up on stage. Yo, I want to make a song. I want to do, and then I see them. I'm like, it's hard and terrible, but you got to be like, yo, do it. And so, that's if I can make any suggestion or anything.
But here's the thing: you also got to let people fail in the right way as well. So if they have these grandeur ideas, you got to be able to give them some insight, but also be able to have them have an understanding that they might fall and it might need to be embraced there.
It's hard to let people fail though when at the end of the day it's on you. Especially with currency. It's like, cause in my situation, like, yeah, I want you to get your vision out too.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, it's like when people see that shit, they think of me.
Right.
No matter how much I put you out there, they gonna think of me.
Yeah.
So
we're not putting Porky the Pig on your. We're not putting Porky Pig on your shirt.
Like,
you know what I'm saying?
I
Like,
appreciate it. Like
that's a dope idea, but
but when we do it, like, so that's why it's hard for me to be in and out of a lot of the process, because at the end of the day, I gotta believe in it too. Because if I don't believe in it, then I can't really support it or push it the same way I would support.
That makes sense.
So that's a slippery slope.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's tough. Yeah. Like, that's real tough.
I guess to the concept of your brand, you've done a few pop-ups. I've come to a few, and just working outside of Currency Studio, what's your thought process behind that and going into different spaces?
That's something we're working on. We're trying to figure that out right now. We are using Currency Studio to figure out what will work best outside of it. Okay. So like the installation we just did, like maybe we'll do that in a hotel. In the future. Maybe we'll do installations with tasteful restaurants. So things of that nature. To show other things that we could possibly do.
Okay.
But we're definitely trying to build relationships with other types of businesses and like activate in other spaces. Yeah. And just bring that experience. And then she's trying to get us over to LA. So we can figure some stuff out there. Because we've never touched that side.
There's a lot. So I guess in closing, man, just what does the future look like? I mean, you've kind of talked about it. What does the space look like? What is whatever creative ventures you have look like in the future?